I found out my wife was cheating because her Fitbit synced to my phone. I never thought I'd be one of those people posting about infidelity online. I always imagined I'd live a normal, boring suburban life. Go to work, come home, kiss the wife, put the kids to bed, rinse and repeat. But life has a way of tossing you straight into the fire when you least expect it. I'm 39 now. At the time of this story, I had been married to Emma for 11 years. We met in college. She was funny, gorgeous, and the kind of person that made everyone around her light up. I was quiet, a bit nerdy, the kind of guy who took comfort in routine. We balanced each other well, or at least I thought we did. We have 2 kids, Nathan, who was 10 at the time, and Olivia, who was 6. Emma worked in HR at a mid-sized tech company, and I was, still am, a systems analyst. I mostly work from home. We had our issues like any couple. She complained that I wasn't spontaneous enough. I thought she spent too much money on random things we didn't need, but nothing big. Nothing that would ever suggest she'd do what she did. Everything changed on a Thursday morning. A completely average Thursday. That's the part that still gets me. How mundane the day started. Nathan had forgotten his math homework. He realized it 5 minutes after Emma had already left to drop him and Olivia off at school. I told him not to worry, that I'd bring it by during lunch. At noon, I drove over to the school. On the way there, I realized I'd never been inside the main office except for enrollment day. I walked in, said hello to the receptionist, and handed over the folder with Nathan's name on it. Just as I was about to leave, the receptionist smiled and said, "It's nice that you and Emma split the drop-offs like that. She was just here earlier." I paused. "She was? I thought she dropped off the kids this morning." The receptionist looked confused. "Oh, no, she came by about half an hour ago. Said she had to update some emergency contact info." That wouldn't be weird, except Emma told me she was going into the office for an early meeting. And she worked 25 minutes away from the school. Maybe she forgot to tell me, I thought. But something in my gut turned. I didn't know why, but it did. I thanked the receptionist and left. That night I asked her how her meeting went. She said, "Ugh, so boring. Just the same budget stuff. It ran long, too." A flat-out lie. I stared at her, trying to decide whether to bring it up. I didn't. Instead, I waited. I started watching. When she said she was working late, I checked the location of her phone using the Find My app we had on each other's devices. Something we did for safety, especially with the kids. A few times, she was exactly where she said she'd be. Other times, the signal was mysteriously unavailable, so I started looking for patterns. She had been working late a lot over the past 2 months. She'd started putting a password on her phone, saying it was for work security. She took calls in the garage or in our bedroom with the door locked. I know how all of this sounds now. Obvious. But when you're in the middle of it, when this person is the mother of your children and your best friend for over a decade, you want to believe you're just being paranoid. But I wasn't. One night, she was in the shower. Her iPad lit up on the nightstand. A notification popped up. It was a calendar invite sent by Evan T. Ijan, dinner, Orig, Cielo, lounge, 7 p.m. I tapped it. It opened a thread of messages between her and someone named Evan T. Same table as last time? Can't. Wait to see you. It's been too long. Wish I could spend the night again. I felt like the floor had dropped out from under me. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might pass out. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I copied the calendar entry, took screenshots. I had no idea what to do. Evan was someone I'd heard her mention before. She said he was super annoying, always making dad jokes during meetings, that he was married, that he wasn't her type. I started digging. I downloaded a backup of her phone through iTunes while she slept. I found texts dating back 3 months, photos of them in a hotel room, nudes. Conversations about how I'd never suspect a thing, about how the kids were starting to ask questions. I bought a small GPS tracker online and stuck it in the trunk of her car one morning, watched her location over the next week. Twice, she went to the same hotel on the outskirts of town. Checked in at 6:30 p.m., left after 10. Told me she was in a late meeting both times. I started drinking a little more than usual. I barely slept. Every time she kissed me, I felt like I was being suffocated by my own stupidity. I decided I needed more than digital proof. I needed to see it with my own eyes. So the next time she said she had a corporate dinner, I hired a private investigator, $900 for one night of surveillance. Worth every cent. He got photos, her and Evan holding hands in the parking garage, kissing in the car, entering the hotel together, coming out 4 hours later, disheveled. When I saw the pictures, something inside me shut off, like a switch flipped. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat on our couch for hours, staring into space. 3 days later, I waited until the kids were asleep. I sat Emma down in the kitchen, poured her a glass of wine. She smiled. "What's this?" I slid the manila envelope across the table. "Open it." Inside were the printed texts, the hotel receipts, the photos. She didn't speak for a full minute, just stared, her hands shaking. Finally, she whispered, "I can explain." "No," I said, "you can't, and I don't want you to. I want you to pack a bag. Tonight. And I want you out of this house by morning." She cried, begged, swore it meant nothing, swore she was confused, said she loved me. I just kept staring at her, cold, numb. I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of my anger. She spent that night on the couch. I didn't sleep at all. We separated a week later. I filed for divorce. We agreed to a 50-50 custody split, something I regret now. She moved in with her sister. Evan's wife found out not long after. She reached out to me. We ended up grabbing coffee, comparing timelines. Turns out the affair had been going on for almost a year. She divorced Evan. He moved to another state 6 months later. Emma tried to fix things. She sent me long letters, told me she went to therapy, said she wanted our family back. But something in me broke permanently. Not just trust, not just love, respect. You don't come back from the kind of betrayal that wears your clothes and sleeps beside you at night. It's been almost exactly 1 year since the day I found the first message. I still wake up some nights thinking I heard her phone buzz. I still feel phantom pain when I hear her laugh on the kids' FaceTime calls. But I'm okay. I'm really okay. I started running again, lost 20 pounds, reconnected with friends. I'm even dating a little, not seriously yet, but enough to feel like myself again. Nathan and Olivia are adjusting. They're resilient. I've answered their questions as honestly as I can without poisoning their image of their mother. Because despite everything, she's still their mom. And I'll never use my hurt to turn them against her. If you've made it this far, thank you. I wrote this partly for myself, to finally get it all out, but also for anyone who might be where I was a year ago. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Trust your gut. Ask the questions. Check the phone. Look at the patterns. Because the person who swears they'd never hurt you, sometimes they're already doing it while smiling in your face. Update. It's been just over a year since I posted about my now ex-wife Emma cheating on me with her coworker. At the time, I didn't expect the post to blow up the way it did, or that it would become such a weirdly therapeutic outlet for me. A few people messaged asking for an update, and even if no one had, I think I would have written this anyway. Some stories need an epilogue. So, where am I now? Well, for starters, the divorce is final. It was officially processed 7 months ago. We ended up settling things fairly amicably, all things considered. No courtroom drama, no screaming matches. Just two people going through the motions with a mediator and barely making eye contact. We stuck with 50-50 custody of Nathan and Olivia, though I now realize that Emma wasn't asking for more time because she felt guilty. She was asking for more time because Evan moved back into the area and she wanted to blend their lives more gradually. She didn't tell me that directly. I heard it from Nathan, who mentioned that Mom's friend Evan came to his soccer game. He's not just a friend, obviously. It took a lot not to say something petty or sarcastic in front of the kids, but I didn't. I won't. For the first few months post-divorce, I felt like I was just existing. I was going through the motions, work, cooking, parenting, but there was no color in anything. It was like living in grayscale, but then something shifted. I got tired of feeling stuck in neutral. I joined a local gym, started waking up earlier, running more. I picked up guitar again, something I hadn't done since college. I even joined a casual band with a few coworkers. We play cover songs in a friend's garage every other Saturday. It's not impressive, but it feels good to be doing something just for me. I also started therapy. Best decision I've made in years. Having someone professionally trained to listen to me untangle all the resentment, self-doubt, and emotional wreckage Emma left behind has been a lifeline. I'm not completely healed, but I'm better. And that's enough for now. Yes, I've started dating again. No, it hasn't been easy. At first, I tried the apps, Hinge, Bumble, you name it. I met a few women who were lovely but clearly at different stages of life. A few awkward dates. One woman spent the entire second date crying about her ex-husband, and I wish I were exaggerating. Then, about 4 months ago, I met someone the old-fashioned way, through a mutual friend at a backyard BBQ. Her name is Riley, and she's different in the best way. She's a nurse. Divorced as well, with no kids of her own, but great with mine. We've only been seeing each other for a couple of months, so I'm keeping things slow. The kids haven't met her yet, but she knows about Emma, about the affair, about the messy aftermath, and she hasn't run screaming. That alone feels like a small miracle. From what I've gathered, Emma and Evan are still figuring things out. They're not living together yet, but I know they go on trips with the kids occasionally. Olivia let it slip that she got a stuffed panda from Evan on their weekend camping trip, which made me clench my jaw hard enough to crack a molar. But I've kept my distance. I don't ask questions unless they directly affect the kids, and I don't criticize Emma to them, not because she deserves grace, but because they do. That said, the biggest twist came last month, when I got an email from Evan's ex-wife. Yes, her. We had the coffee once back when everything first exploded. After that, she moved out of state. I hadn't heard from her since. Her email said she just wanted to thank me. Apparently, Evan tried to crawl back into her life not long after Emma and I split. Claimed he was a changed man. She said no, and has since remarried. But she told me she appreciated how calmly I handled things. How I didn't light the whole house on fire, as she put it. It made me feel weirdly proud, like maybe I had handled it the right way after all. If you're reading this and going through something similar, whether it's betrayal, heartbreak, or the slow erosion of trust, I just want to say this. It gets better. Not overnight, not easily, but it does. One day you'll wake up, make coffee, look out the window, and realize you're not waiting to see if their car pulls in. You're not checking their phone. You're not replaying old arguments in the shower. You're just living again, and that's a beautiful thing. Thanks to everyone who sent kind messages or just read my original story. I didn't realize how much I needed this anonymous corner of the internet until I had it. Take care of yourselves. Hug your kids. Trust your gut. And if something feels off, it probably is. I'll update again if anything big changes. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy this weird, healing, hopeful chapter of life.
For more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.